Hello and welcome to another episode of GameSpot Plays. I'm Guy Cocker, joined today by Cameron Robinson, who is perhaps most importantly accompanied by a copy of a game, that game being The Darkness 2. Welcome, Cameron.
Hi Guy, how you doing?
I'm very well. So The Darkness 1 came out a few years ago. Darkness 2 is a little bit different. It's developed by a new developer. It's the same story, but it's even visually quite different, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been playing a lot over the last couple of days, so I thought we'd jump into the game kind of early on, midway through the kind of starting sequence, and try and show off what's new and maybe what hasn't changed as well in The Darkness 2.
Good. So this is a little bit, with the demo that we're going to show is a little bit in. It's not like maybe a couple of minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Let's jump in and have a look.
Okay.
Bon appetit.
Hi, Jackie. Remember us from the Candy Club? Well, do you? Sure he does.
Trust me, ladies. I wish I did. Oh, shit! Jackie, get down! Jackie, you stay with me now. Oh, shit, look at his leg.
Benny, what do we do?
You guys take point. I'm gonna pull Jackie out back. Jackie, listen to me. I'm gonna pull you out back, but you gotta take this. Keep these guys off our ass.
Benny, I'm gonna slaughter these pigs!
Jackie, come to the dock.
Hold on, Jackie. Pick up the stairs.
So Cam, tell us a little bit about this section. You're obviously being dragged by the mobster.
Yeah.
And you're without your darkness powers at this stage, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think what's happened since the first one is Jackie's trying to suppress the kind of darkness within him. He's trying to keep it under wraps, so he's not using it. But then he's being, they've been hit on by all these mobsters here, his entire gang, really.
This is like a restaurant that he was due to eat at.
Yeah, it's kind of a classic kind of one gang hitting another gang hit is how it's set up at the beginning. So yeah, you've only got your gun powers at the moment, but your gun shooting abilities at the moment. But it's already, if anyone's familiar with the Darkness 1, the combat is quite different with the guns. I mean, you could never aim down sight in the first Darkness. You always had that kind of laser sight that was always there. Right. So that's one difference that kind of fans of the first one will notice already. But dual wielding is also back.
Right. Yeah.
So that was a big thing of the gun combat in the first Darkness as well. So you can dual wield if you like. So this is obviously on rails at the moment. I'm not controlling the movement. We're just trying to get away from all these mobsters. Ah,
they really want to get
They
you.
really don't like me, do they? Whoop. In the kitchen. That's always a good place to hide. Jurassic Park taught us that.
So Jackie must have gotten hit by that car when it came through the window.
Yeah, his legs
girls
pretty messed up.
Who he was with are pretty much gone.
Yeah, one of them most certainly.
All right,
yeah, so there's gas, I think.
Let's jump back into the game and see what it has to offer. Nice. So that's the first section of the game. This is just before you get a hold of the darkness, which we're going to see in a minute. So the creators of the original game, Starbreeze, Swedish studio, they're currently making Syndicate. So this has gone over to a new studio called Digital Extremes.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first time they've had to go, obviously, with the darkness, but they've actually got quite a pedigree, Digital Extremes. They worked with Epic on Unreal Tournament and Unreal back in the day. And also they did Dark Sector, which was the same generation of consoles. I actually haven't played it, but it reviewed okay.
Sure.
And also they worked on multiplayer, I think, for Bioshock 2 and Homefront. So they've been quite involved in various big games over the last few years. But yeah, this is definitely a big title for them. And it's running their own engine. Okay. I think it's called the Evolution Engine.
Right,
which
okay.
is one of the things we're going to talk about. It looks similar, but there are pretty major differences from the first Darkness in terms of style.
It's kind of cell shaded almost. It's kind of, it reminds me of Borderlands, I guess, the most.
Yeah, well, because the Darkness series is based on comic book, so they're really going with that kind of comic book style. I mean, characters have a very defined, almost like border around them, as you can see. Okay, I should be actually moving forward here.
And so you said there's parts where it looks stunning, right?
Yeah.
Really nice.
And this is one of those bits. And as any fans of Faith No More will be very happy to hear that Mike Patton is back voicing the Darkness. So let's release him.
I'm free!
Oh! What the hell is that? See that? Holy shit! Is that...
So he's chopped in half. That's nice. As you can see, it's pretty gruesome, just like the first one. I doubt this will be coming out in Australia.
I think it's actually I think it's not due to come out over there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But understated.
Okay.
Is
Subtle violence. No, so here we've got now have the Darkness powers. Now it looks similar, doesn't it, from the first one? You can get your nice demon heads, one over each shoulder. But now the way it controls is really quite different, which I'll try and show off, not just by sitting here. Let's move around. Anyway, so one of your left bumper allows you to pick things up and then chuck them.
We're playing on Xbox 360.
We're playing on, Xbox 360. But on PS3, I'm sure it'll be the same. It'll be L1. You get to pick things up and then chuck them. So back is your objectives, which is quite handy actually if you're ever not sure where you're going. So you can grab objects, not just body parts, and then you can fling them at your attackers. Wow. He's impaled. That's nice. What else can I pick up? Huh. Bit of javelin. Go.
Nice.
So that
right in the groin.
Yep, it's right in the groin. It's got a nice steady intro, so it shows you first how to use your kind of left bumper demon, and now it wants me to use the right. So you hold right bumper, and this is what I really like actually, is you don't just push it for an attack. I mean, that's one option, but if you hold it and then use the right stick, you can swing in whatever direction you like. Okay. Which is pretty cool. It just gives you that kind of a tactile feel over when you're like chopping people up.
So you have to slash through certain things.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this guy should not be coming towards me. There you go. And then once he's only stunned, but when he's stunned, he's hitting again. There we go. You get a demon arm. I think I chopped him in half.
You sliced him right in half.
Yeah, I don't even know how I did that, but there you go. Oh, another guy.
You totally did not like that guy.
You are going demon arm kill. Yeah. So it's really nicely violent.
Nicely done. If you're a fan of violence.
Exactly.
Come on.
Is that the ghost of Jackie's girlfriend?
That is the ghost of Jackie's girlfriend. I think it's a big part of the story. I haven't played much into it, and obviously wouldn't want to talk about that just now. But I think that is going to be a major theme of the story. Yeah, one of the things that even if you are familiar with the Darkness like I am, I love the original game. The intro, the setup for the story is the way it's explained. The Jackie Estacado's backstory is really nicely done. Yeah, they've kept that same kind of style. It is done really nicely. The voice acting, as in the last game, is really spot on. Strong, yeah. Now, one thing that has changed about the way the game plays is it's lost some of its stealthiness, which I'll talk about in a minute, but it has brought in executions, as we're going to see here. So I just chopped his head off. But yeah, it's lost its kind of stealthiness. Everything's a lot more about frenetic combat. Right. Because in the first one of my favorite things about it is the fact that you could sneak up behind people with your little demon head going along the floor, and it was very Chronicles of Riddick, which also Starbreeze had made. Yeah. But now, what's happened is they've gone a lot more full on with the combat. Right. But actually, although I'm a big fan of stealth, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It controls really nicely, and you can really have a lot of fun with it. For example, you can pick up car doors and use them as defense, and then do some shooting. Oops, some good shooting, really. There you go. The shooting feels very much Call of Duty. It snaps onto enemies, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, that's why I already killed that guy. He's like, why is he not going down? God. Oh yeah, one big change, you need to stay out of the light. The light was obviously not good in the first game, but I don't think it actually harmed you. But if you go in the light in Darkness 2, your darkness powers disappear. Right. So you really need to stay in the shadow. So gunplay is, pretty fun, but let's run in and do some demon arm kills. It's a lot more fun. And you can, of course, pick up... don't know what this is, but I will throw it at this guy.
It's like a newspaper
Yeah.
vendor thing.
Nothing quite like throwing a dead mobster at a living mobster. Here we go. Let's try that. Oh no, I dropped him. Cutscene time. There's a lot of throwbacks to the first game as well, and the way it started, because Darkness 1 started with a big explosion.
There's a car chase.
Yeah. I haven't seen a car chase yet, I wouldn't be surprised. But here is one thing that's obviously back from the first Darkness. We have our Darkling.
I got a staccato. He's over here. You're not so tough now, are you? No!
Hello, monkey. It's been too long. Give us a hug.
I'll pass, but thanks for the help. What's that?
So there's
smell?
little bits of questionable humor. I like that, but so what stayed the same? Because we've talked a lot about what's changed, but I feel what's actually stayed the same is if you're a fan of the kind of feel of the Darkness 1, the style of the story, almost the genre that would fit into, that's still very much the same. That hasn't changed. For me, it's almost reminiscent in a way of like Max Payne, except obviously not with the same kind of detective edge, but it's New York. It's really dark and gritty, and it's kept that, which I think is a big plus point for me anyway.
Nice. You've got a choice of dual wielding here. I think again this was in the original Darkness, but you got like pistol in one hand and Uzi in another that your Darkling has kind of helpfully offered up to you, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, yeah.
What about upgrades and that sort of stuff?
Yeah,
later
well,
on
I think we kind of come up to an upgrade thing in just a minute. Okay. That's I think the last thing we should show off. The way the guns work, just to quickly show you, is a bit different. You use the D-pad to choose to use either your guns individually or down to dual wield whatever you're holding. So it works really quite nicely. So you can change pretty quickly. All right, okay, talent shrine. This is exactly what we want. So one of the things they've added is talent trees, unlockable talent trees. So you'll have seen this type of thing in many games before, but I think it works quite well. So let me just get into this. So there's 4 different talent trees. There's one for I think it's all execution, so a lot of it's execution related in this talent tree. There's one which is kind of abilities, which we'll come back to. There's one which is all around other abilities like swarms and stuff, and then there's one just for guns. Sure. So they are not just random hotspots, they are kind of focused, but some of the abilities are really quite cool, which make your executions more powerful, for example, or you can lift enemies up in the air, and you can throw your Darkling enemies, which sounds pretty fun.
There's plenty of stuff to unlock, really. You've got what was it, 5? How much have you got to spend here?
I don't have much to... I've only got 500.
Right,
so I could get, for example, I think I could get health executions, which allows me to perform a health execution and regenerate some health. So, yeah.
In this, you go into the Darkness to regenerate your health over time as well.
Yeah, you can, and eating human hearts, which we haven't done yet. So let's try and quickly... Why don't we finish this off by finding someone and eating their heart? Pretty good idea. Here we go. Let's try this guy.
Didn't put up much of a fight.
No, I may have killed him a minute ago. So yeah, it's quite a nice mechanic. I mean, you can see the health controller in the bottom left-hand corner. You've got kind of 4 parts of the circle which correspond to your health. So you can die pretty quickly. Okay. If you just stand there like an idiot and get shot lots, you will die. But it's not particularly challenging so far for me anyway. I've not found it, but it may have a difficulty spike later on when you played a bit of it.
Cool. Well, that's a quick look at The Darkness 2, which is out fairly soon. It's kind of snuck up on me. It's out on 7th of February in the US and 10th of February in the UK. So not long to wait, and looks pretty promising from what I've seen so far. Cool. Thanks very much for that, Cameron.
No problem, Guy.
For more on The Darkness 2, head over to GameSpot.com.